Hi, everyone. Welcome on this Friday morning. Thank the Lord, it's over. So, I hope that everybody has had a blessed week, ready to start this weekend off. I hope everybody to be safe as well. So, today's topic, we are going to start off with the 7 types of different relationships that we have. First one would be monogamous. Second would be polygamous. 3 would be open relationship. 4 would be long distance relationship. 5 is casual sex relationships. 6 is friends with benefits. 7 is asexual relations. So today I have a guest, as we will go by friend X, that will be joining us today and sharing her thoughts and opinions. And so I welcome her. Hi, friend X.
Hello, friend. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're very welcome. So I'm glad that you're here, and I just want to start off on, based on your opinion, how do you perceive to see monogamous relationships, and how does it relate in today's world? So your opinion, and then general speaking.
Well, in today's world, there is some different types of relationship. Absolutely. For me, personally, I'm more of a monogamous kind of person, one-on-one. I you could say I'm a little bit selfish in the sense that I don't want to share my partner, but I do respect other people's belief on, how they want to carry on their relationship. So I believe that with time, relationship has evolved to different various types. Monogamous has been something that has been like traditional among the Christian community, of course. So I am more of a monogamous, and that's what I prefer.
So when you say monogamous, so what is monogamous to you? What do you identify it as?
It's a one-on-one with one person. There's no third parties in the relationship.
Okay.
That's what monogamous means to me. As I mentioned earlier, I don't believe in sharing my partner with someone else. I can be a little bit selfish when it comes to that. I don't want to share attention. I don't want to share my bed with someone else. I want all the attention for me.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's good. And a lot of people today, monogamous is kind of hard to come by. A lot of women say they want monogamous relationships, but they don't act on it. From my opinion, just by the all expectation of YouTube and social media, women say they want that, but then they're drawn to the next sexual person who they find attractive to. I don't feel like today's world they understand what monogamous is. This is why we have the highest rate of divorce in our world today. I don't feel like they practice monogamous. I really don't understand why they say they want one, but yet they put themselves out there to be seen like a thirst by others, and they tend to be drawn by sexuality, and the first person that says they're attractive and they're not getting that attention from home, they seem to fall back, and that's how we get the cheating rates going up, because I don't feel like too many people know the main factor of monogamous. I personally feel like I can go monogamous, yes, if that's what I feel like, but I'm totally different. I'm like you. I believe in one and one mate only if I'm going into that relationship that way. I personally feel like monogamous is too much of a heavy too much heavy weight on one person who has never been monogamous or has ever been with multiple of people to really figure out who that person is that they want to be with. You know, I think you have to be in the dating game for a long time before you can really say you want to go into monogamous. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you definitely have to have a certain type of maturity in order to handle a monogamous relationship. Because when you go into a monogamous relationship, you're making the commitment that you're going to be with that one person, and you're expecting that person to be just with you as well. And people expectation, you know, it's hard to, what's that word? Sorry. It's hard to accommodate them in their expectation. I mean, everybody is an individual, and it's really hard to accommodate them in what they want. I think that people do want that monogamous relationship, but they lack in a lot of like different types of like characteristic that is mandatory to have in order to make a monogamous relationship work. Like, are you having open communication with that person? Are you being understanding? Are you are you are you available to make some changes in order to make things work? You know, I did mention that I'm selfish in the sense that I don't want to share my partner, but I am open to making changes in order for things to work out with that person. Of course, within reasonable accommodations, you know, that falls along the line of monogamous. But I think people knowing that they have so many options out there, it's like a buffet, you know, like, yeah, you like the way that this chicken is seasoned, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're getting frustrated because you're getting frustrated with that chicken. So then you see in the buffet that they made other types of chickens. So you're gonna be like, I'm gonna try out this chicken too, see if I like it. You know, but the thing about that is that grass is not always greener on the other side. You know, and people are just, instead of like making things work, they're just so quick to just jump to the next person. But the problem is that if you don't really actually fix what's wrong with you personally, you're gonna have that same problem with the next and the next and the next person. And I think that's why people are having so much difficulty maintaining a monogamous relationship, because they're not doing what it takes to maintain that relationship. There was a post that I saw a while back about an experiment. So he was holding an egg, and he told the person, hey, throw the egg on the floor. And the person was like, why would I throw the egg on the floor? It's not break. It's an experiment. Just throw the egg on the floor. He was reluctant, but he did it anyways to prove to that person, like, it's gonna freaking break. I know what's gonna happen. So after he threw the egg, he's like, you see, it's gonna break like I told you. And then the person that was telling him, like, okay, throw the egg, was like, okay, now say you're sorry to the egg that you broke. And then the person that threw the egg was like smirking and was like, okay, I'm a sorry, egg. And then the person that was hosting the experiment asked them, like, okay, so did it get back together? Did it become a whole egg all over again? It's like, no. And then he said, well, then that's how it is. You can't, you know, break someone and expect them to be whole again. You know, you need to cherish that egg and take care of that egg, because once you lose that trust, it's really hard to go back to the way things was. You know, you have to maintain that trust and that good relationship within communication. And so I think that a lot of the kids, well, not kids, people nowadays are just having a really hard time expressing themselves. And I think there's a lot of things that taken in factor to make a relationship work. And we can discuss that a little bit further.
Okay. Well, that's a good point, and thank you for sharing that. So now that we can identify what monogamous is, I hope that, you know, those who are hearing this that you really seek into that word before you get it into a relationship, and actually knowing what you're getting yourself into. Otherwise, then you look bad when things do not, fall through the way you want, and you're not able to work out the relationship, and you just want to go out and cheat and seek others while in a relationship. And then we wonder why these men talk down on us. It's because you haven't given or had enough experience or enough time to really realize what the practice of monogamous is. So just be careful how you choose your words and what you're getting yourself into. The next one I want to go into is polygamous, and then there's polygamorous. Polygamous to me is more than one person in your life. A lot of men practice this, the Muslims, the Africans, Indians. Am I missing someone else? There's different cultures that practice polygamous. And I feel personally that polygamous has been going on for many, many moons. I mean, it has been going on for centuries. I used to think today's world, we look at it like that's disgusting because we don't want to share. But in reality, and I had to really look deep into this and look and really research this. Men back in even Jesus' times, okay, they had more than one wives. If you really read the Bible and know that there were multiple of wives, So this just didn't come overnight. This wasn't man-made. And I feel like today, there are a lot of good men that are a monogamous relation, know how to just be with one woman, but then you have a lot that don't know how to. Are we wrong for calling them dogs? Are we wrong for discriminating their name and badgering on them? Because this has been in their genes for centuries. Yeah, I'm a little offended by it because I don't want to be a second or third or fourth wife. If anything, I want to be the one and only. But are we wrong? What is your thought on that?
Polygamy?
Mm-hmm.
I personally wouldn't do it. As I mentioned, I feel like I'm selfish in the bed. I feel as though that I've never done it. I never had a threesome. I never been involved with multiple people at the same time, but I imagined it, I imagine, watching my partner, getting pleased by somebody else, and then I'm over here what am I doing? I'm just watching them, and it's just, I feel like a creep in a way, but I respect people's preference of doing that. But me personally, this is the kind of things that could come in mind. I'm just gonna be feeling like a third wheel, watching them just get it in, and maybe they're just doing it for a minute or two, but that minute or two might feel like an eternity for me, and I'm fucking horny, and I want to, get mine. So I don't know. I can't. I try to imagine myself in a polygamous relationship because I think it can be a nice community where you're sharing responsibilities, and it could be a nice thing, working together, a community. But I just can't see myself in the bed kind of aspect where I'm just sitting there as a third wheel, or vice versa. I'm getting it in with my partner and somebody's watching me. I think it's freaking weird. I don't personally like the same sex, so it's not wait, before I keep going, this is rated
I know it's a sensitive subject. I know, I get it.
So to me, Sorry, I keep that maybe there's children listening to this, and I want to be respectful of your show. But to me, it's more of a sexual thing, a polygamous relationship. But I start thinking about it more as a financial thing. I think financially, I think it will be beneficial to the like share responsibilities. Everybody can specialize in something. One person could be good at gardening, and they could produce produce in the backyard. The other person can be a handy person in the house, and then the other person is the cook. And then coming together and just working together as community. I can see that working for other people. But to me, what blocks me is sharing that affection, sharing that sexual aspect, and I just can't see myself doing that. But I totally respect and I can see how that works for others.
Okay. Well, I find like a lot of today world just listening that some people are interested in just having that one time threesome or three time threesome. They find it to be just desiring. Now, I personally have already experienced my time, my date, and it was just something as a fantasy, but to actually be in a marriage, to actually share my husband. Now, you would say, now what makes it different from your husband than your boyfriend? Well, one, I never shared my boyfriend voluntarily, although they probably done it involuntarily. But I've never just volunteered my boyfriend. If anything, it had to have been somebody that I pretty much cared too less about and was just sexually attracted to them. But and that to me, I think about, if I truly was in a relationship, say about 4, 5, 6 years, and then he decided, you know what, honey, I want to bring somebody else into this, but you're my first lady, and this is what I want. I don't want to cheat on you. But I would like to have 2 wives, and it's beneficial to you and me. It could help you. It could help me. I don't know. I step back and I can probably think, well, as you get older, things change. Your set of mind changes. And would I rather my husband be honest with me, or go out there and cheat on me? Most likely, I would rather him just be honest with me, and at least he gives me the respect to choose it if I want it or not. Because regardless if I don't want it or not, I feel like he's going to step out anyway. Because he's already pretty much told me, like, it's either 1, I'm bored, 2, I don't give him enough. We all change during time. So I question that. It would just be based on my relationship with them first. Trust goes a long way, so it's probably something I would have to establish first. So second, let's talk about polygamous. Now, polygamous is someone who dates gays, heterosexuals, bisexuals, or in a combination of all of that. What do you feel about that?
I feel the same as polygamy, but I think that in that sense, it will probably work a lot better with them because they are attracted to the same sex. So they could either go both ways. Like for me, like I'm straight, so I can't imagine myself being sexually involved with the same sex.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. But I can see that if I was bi or a lesbian, I could see myself making that work because I'm attracted to that. I like that. I like both. So I can see that working absolutely. If I was attracted to the same sex, I will be absolutely open to this kind of relationship because I feel like I'm going to get pleasured by something that I like. But I'm not, but I could see how this can work for them. Absolutely.
Okay. I feel though, as a polyamorous, or however you say it, I may be saying it wrong, but practicing that, I think we all, like individually, I know that we go through stages in our life, and I had to identify with this. In order to really identify who you are, if you are totally confused, then you find yourself crossing over to, same sex, just because it was thoughts. Maybe it was your upbringing. Maybe it was something that was just, in your system. Maybe you inherited some type of way. I feel like we all go through a growth in life, and everybody, or most of the people, are curious. But I think you don't really know who you are until you actually go through that experience. Now, if you're just adamant about, like, no, I don't like men, or I just don't like women, that's cool. But if you're really in a cross where you really don't know who you are, I feel like you can cross that line and you can say, hey, you know what? I'm just here for try. I'm not sure who I am, who I can identify myself. But until you actually do it, you really don't know. That's why I don't cross judgment on people who went from, a guy to a woman to a guy to a guy, because I get it. Sometimes it's just in your system. You don't know who you are until you actually cross that road. You know. And I grew up half of my life with gays and lesbians and all that. So I was already in that circle. So my vicarious mind took me to that level. So I can honestly say in my life, I've crossed that road already, but I have already identified who I am. I know what I like, and I love who I am, and I'm glad, and I can say that I've been through those stages. But I just don't cross judgment, and I tell anybody that I know, like, if you don't know who you are, that's something you need to study within. If you're in a relationship and you're having thoughts about another gender, sometimes you need to step back. Don't put that person through your trial, or you want to experience outside the relationship. Let's be honest, get out of the relationship, tell them you want to break, step away, and if you really love this person and that person really loves you the way they say they love you, they will understand. Because if you can't identify who you are, then you're going to find yourself crossing during the relationship, and possibly bringing something back into relationship that was unwanted, if that makes sense. I need to give me 5.